A free-to-play MMORPG with no pay to win. Sounds pretty crazy, but it's true. So far, the monetization is based on the cosmetic system. This game is called Sword of Justice, and this is going to be a truthful, unsponsored view on the game. I have about 16 hours of playtime so far, which is beyond enough to give a review. I'd like to start out the video showing the classes you can choose from. First one, Nightwalker. This class has high burst damage and uses dual blades. Ironclad, which is going to be the tank class, and they have gauntlets, I think. Bloodstrom, melee DPS with a spear, and does have like a good balanced defense system, so you can like auto heal as well. And I think there's horseback riding fighting, I think. Celestune, if I said that right, is a ranged DPS using a zither, which is like a musical instrument, and sword, doing AoE damage. It's like elemental damage that they have. Sylph is the healer class with a fan or silk ribbon as their weapon. And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but this is the class I chose, Numina. It's a really cool class. It uses like illusionary summoning powers and purple magic. Very cool class. This is the one I like to play. Then I'd like to show the character creation. The detail of character creation is very important to me. In video games, it's something I have a lot of fun with. You can manually go through everything and create your character, or you can use AI prompts or an image of yourself or someone else to create your character, which is really cool and fun to mess around with. Now, no matter what image you use, your character will always look Asian. So if you use an image of Miley Cyrus, it's going to be like an Asian version of Miley Cyrus, if that makes any sense. So don't think it's going to make it look exactly like whoever you use, but it's still really fun to play with, and you can create some really cool looks. You can also go through and see other characters people have created and use their templates, so you don't have to spend an hour creating your character. I think all of this is really cool. The menus on the character creation do get confusing sometimes, but you'll figure it out. I think the character creation is what it needs to be. They could let us dye our hair. Unfortunately, we cannot. It's going to be brown whenever you start out. You'll have to pay real money later to dye your character's hair, which is, of course, how they keep the game up and running. I wish we could make our characters a little thicker and more muscle, but again, not the end of the world. I think the character creation is what it needs to be, and it's pretty fun to mess around with. I spent an hour making my character. So there are a lot of dialogue and cutscenes and talking back and forth to NPCs in the beginning of the game. Some people like that. It's like you're playing through a movie pretty much for like the first 2 hours of the game. If you don't like that, you gotta push through the first 2 hours, and then you'll be around like level 30 and you can actually play the game. So I say give the game over 2 hours of a chance before giving up on it if you're someone who does not like dialogue, and then it shortens down and it's a lot better. So just a heads up. Movement in the game is incredible. It's like no other game I've ever played before, the things you can do with your movement. Depending on the area you are in, there are different movement abilities that will pop up to get you around the map. So you can fly pretty much whenever you want, easily, and you don't have to get on a mount to fly. Your character just flies herself. You have a grapple hook when needed, this single ability that would like sling you forward to a precise spot if you're struggling to get to it, like at the top of a building or something. When I'm jumping around, my character will hold on to stuff, like latch onto the roof or onto a curtain or something to move around. Hard to explain. You can see it in some clips on the screen, but it's really cool. The walking around and camera movement is very responsive and good. You also have a mount in the game. So far, I've gotten 2 mounts for free. I'm not sure if there's more, but I mean, you got like more than anything you need. The dungeons in this game are so fun. I love how unique they are. I mean, in the first dungeon I did, you're playing through fighting enemies and a boss, and all of a sudden you go into a room that turns into like this 2D art style fight, which is really cool. Then you have a dungeon where choosing which path you want to go down. And one of them, it literally took me like snowboarding or skiing to collect coins. And that was just a cool little addition to add in. Or there was this boss fight in one of the dungeons that felt like a raid boss that it took me like 2 different teams to get the boss down, and like 3 wipes in total, because it was kind of hard, but it wasn't drastically hard. It was just we needed to pay attention to the mechanics. So you really got to pay attention. It's definitely not like an auto battler game. You do have to do mechanics. They did really well with the dungeon designs. I really love it. I'm having a blast with them. Now the graphics are incredible. Every zone I travel into looks stunning. The colors are so vibrant and everything is jaw-droppingly beautiful. I have taken multiple screenshots, like playing around with the camera that's in the game, and it's gorgeous. Wow. I love when you zoom into your character or someone else's and the game focuses on it and shows the sharp details. I'm a sucker for high quality graphics, and this is a winner for it for sure. Everything is beautiful about this game. Now, for something that a lot of people care about, like myself, the combat. The combat is insanely cool. There are combos you can put together when fighting enemies. If you've ever played BDO, Black Desert Online, it's kind of like that with the combos. Not too drastic and too hard, but you do put together some of them. Your abilities are very flashy, all over the place, looks really cool. Maybe there's settings to reduce any of like the flashiness. I didn't look into that if you're not into that, but I like it. I think it's cool. The combat is super great. When fighting enemies, you do a ton of damage when you're doing your combos, so it's very rewarding to pay attention and actually try rather than just spam clicking whatever ability you did. It's very rewarding, very cool. The game runs so smooth. I haven't noticed any glitches or any drastic lagging or issues within the first like 16 hours of game time that I've played so far, which is very surprising for a new MMO RPG. I mean, I've been playing World of Warcraft for years, the MMO that has been out since like, I don't know, 2004, 2006 or something like that. And every single time there's a new big update or expansion drop, the game is laggy, buggy, and you don't want to play it for like a whole day or longer. This game's running smooth. It came out a few days ago. I've had no issues. I'm sure there are bugs in the game, but I have not noticed them yet. When questing, you do have an auto quest feature where sometimes it'll take you to your quest area, speak to the NPC, and do what the quest tells you to do. Not too much where everyone is auto playing and AFKing. There's a good balance. It doesn't move on to the next quest or next task automatically. You have to command it to do so. And there's some quests it doesn't work on at all. It's a good balance. Now for some things I don't like. Let's say the menu options, they're way too much. There are like 100 different menus you need to look at every single day to collect rewards and points from the game when you're playing. It's just too much for me. I'd rather not have that many. It's not the end of the world though. I can click through them. Most free games have them. I think it's so you are looking at the menus and probably end up clicking on the shop to purchase some cosmetics or something. Whatever. It's annoying having to click through them all. Not the end of the world, but I wish they were not that many. So far, I don't see any big pay-to-win mechanics in the game, but I'm sure they will eventually come as the game grows. If there are currently any in the game, I've done my research a little bit and I haven't seen any. Nothing that makes a big difference of the player's strength and makes you play better, giving you like a bunch of strong, powerful gear if you pay a lot of money. I haven't seen it yet, so hopefully they don't ruin it with a heavy monetization system and in the game in like a year or so, like most of these gacha games do. But this one doesn't have it. Not yet, at least. Hopefully it never does. I've seen a lot of complaints about the UI. I personally do not see an issue with it. Maybe if I was on a laptop or my phone, since it is on mobile as well, with a smaller screen, but my monitors are huge and it does not look clunky at all. But if you're someone who wants like a super minimalistic UI, this probably won't be it because the spells are pretty big on the screen and there are like little menus everywhere. I don't see an issue with it, but just a heads up. Overall, I think this game is really great. I've gotten some friends to join in and play with me. It's really such a unique game, and the developers did extremely well for a free-to-play game, in my opinion. I have like barely any complaints. I am having a blast with it. I'd really like to see the raiding in the game. Go out, like get a guild, raid with a team. I bet it's pretty good, but we'll see. I will continue to play this until I get bored. It's a blast and worth trying because it costs you no money. It's free on Steam. Check it out. It's free on your phone too if you're a mobile player. Let me know down in the comments your opinions of the game, and make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.